back to part 2 of the King of the Hill table build. I grabbed some tools and some materials I think I'm going to need. I definitely know I'm going to need this. This is a good, it's a little expensive because it's the waterproof Tite Bond 3. You probably don't need waterproof for this, but I just always buy Tite Bond 3. I think that bottle's like 10 bucks. I've got 2 different nailers. This is my, I think this is 18 gauge nailer. This is a staple gun. These are not made anymore. These were Porter Cable. I think discontinued those, but I love them. So I just don't know what's gonna happen when the batteries die. We're gonna be in trouble, but they work real nice and they're cordless. I grabbed some clamps because we're gonna clamp these boards down along the edge. So follow along, I'll kind of show you how I set this up and I'll speed through this next little bit. So we're back and you can see right here we got a pretty good bow. So I'm hoping if we get this piece down here and when we glue it in, you can see the bow we have right here. We glue this down, we should be able to level this table out. So we're gonna kind of see how it goes as we do that. Other thing we talked about was cutting these corners on angles. And I should probably do that now, but that's going to kind of mess up our ease of laying this out. It's going to take a little bit more effort because we're going to have to do these diagonals. It's going to have some miters and things, so that means these will be mitered. So I don't know. I'm going to think about it for a minute and decide if I want to do those angles or not. So I decided not to do these corners, trim these corners off, since this is going to just be our personal game. And I don't know if it's as big as the one online. But like I said, this is our personal game, so it's not a big deal if it's not identical. So we've got everything, at least the 2 sides so far, glued and nailed. I'm gonna go cut a couple pieces, 43 and 7/16, and then we should be able to get a piece in each end. So I'll be back. I made this little template, I guess just to look at how the routering would look, and it's pretty close. I sanded it with some pretty aggressive sandpaper down here. This is kind of what it looked like before. I might be able to adjust it up just a hair, but that router bit is not wide enough to touch. So there's about, that's probably like a 1/4 inch maybe. Yeah, it's about a 1/4 inch of little material on the top, which probably will be okay, but I just wanted to take that edge off because this is going to be the, we're going to have a little piece. Probably cut this in maybe 1 inch, but I'm going to wait till I get the pucks and kind of see what we need.
Can't change the way I know you think.
Okay, so this is where we're gonna stop at for part 2. We need still to let this dry, of course. I'm kind of rushing these sides. This has only probably been, I don't know, an hour or so since we started. It needs to get flipped over. We need to check and make sure that this is somewhat level when it's sitting on this table. We need to work on these little strips. And I'm in Michigan, so the weather's not the best right now. I think we're getting 2 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow evening. In my shop, outside is not heated. It's just kind of a pole barn. So I will see when I can get to this next. It might be a few days. But I try to keep these under 10 minutes. So I think this probably be like a 4 or 5 part series to show you how to build this little table. And you're building it along with me. I've never built one of these. Like I said, I built a lot of cornhole sets, and this is pretty similar. So earlier I made that error in the measurement. I cut those at 43 and 7/16, and I actually cut 2 of them that until I realized that wasn't the right size. The actual size is 46 and 7/16. And that's a pretty tight fit. If you can look down there, you can kind of see we kind of got a good snug fit. So, and that's what we want, because we want to kind of spring this back to make sure that it is the right size. This corner down here still has a tiny little gap, so that's telling me something's not quite square. But I think we're doing pretty good for learning on the go and kind of trying to figure this out as I'm building this along with you as you're following along. Thanks for watching the videos, and keep an eye out for part 3 of the King of the Hill Billiards table.